I'm Haje, and welcome back to THU TV. Right now, we're in for a really good treat. I am here with Ana Lehmann, who is the Secretary of Industry for Portugal, to talk a little bit about THU and what we're up to here. So, Ana, how important do you think the creative and tech industries are for the Portuguese economy?
Well, they have certainly a great importance. Digital entertainment industry is one of the fastest growing industries in the world, and we cherish it. We are very much into the process of communicating and making Portugal really a hub for creative industries and also for startups. I'm sure you heard about the dynamics right now of the startup scene in Portugal, and
yeah, it's just taking off like crazy.
Taking off like crazy, and for good reasons that we can talk about later. But in fact, this event is really an amazing event, is the best in class, and so really it's a pleasure for us to host this event in Portugal, and we do hope that we'll continue having it here. Let's see. But in any case, THU is really a fabulous meeting point of talent from all over the world, and it's really a great occasion for people from all over the world working in this industry to meet and mingle and really make great things together. Magic happens here.
It really does. I've seen so many people from all over the world here and had some amazing conversations already. And so I'm so happy that there's this giant magnet that pulls everybody in here. It's amazing. What do you hope conferences like THU are able to accomplish for the local community here?
Well, yes, certainly they have a big impact. First of all, they expose Portugal and our ecosystem to leading people from all over the world in this industry, which is an industry that really deserves our best attention. Then it's also very important to communicate the image of modern Portugal, that it's really a fair image, you know, and we need to be more effective at communicating that. And then it also gives an inspiration to the startup community and even to the large corporates to interact here and to see how vibrant is the current ecosystem in Portugal, and you know, to create a more cosmopolitan environment and really to continue reinforcing this path that we are going through. Really, Portugal is a modern country, is a country that is full of talent, and the digital entertainment industry is really an excellent showcase for that, and it's also an excellent opportunity for us because we have excellent talent from the point of view of the digital side, software development and related areas, as well as the creative side.
And more craftsmanship.
Yes, yes, all that, and even, you know, take it, design, fine arts, etc. So we have been for too long the best kept secret, probably.
It's time to tell the world about that.
It's time to tell the world, but it's also time to bring the best practices here, because we should not be in our cocoon thinking that, you know, we have the talent, etc. It doesn't really serve much, insofar as you can really get it to the world and also get, you know, inspiring people to come here. So I think this blend from people from all over the world with local environment is really inspiring, and it's a fantastic opportunity. So I'm very grateful to Andrea, Scott, and team to bring THU to Portugal.
Yeah, awesome. So do you think this is some sort of a cultural exchange where, you know, the world comes here to learn from Portugal and vice versa?
It's not only that. I think the event is far more than that, but that is certainly a good dimension of it. But I think it's basically a wonderful platform from leading people from all over the world in this industry to mingle, to meet in a really inspiring environment, in a really cool place. And this brings the best of them. And I'm sure lots of important things happen during these days.
Yeah, for sure. So if you could take a magic wand and wave it around and fix like a very specific challenge that you feel that you're facing in what you're trying to accomplish, what would you magically fix?
Well, I certainly don't have a magic wand, but you know what is inspiring to me is that take the link between the startup community and the emerging companies, all this vibrant ecosystem, and take the more traditional type of industries. I think a really excellent thing would be to bring these tools more together, and I think there are really wonderful opportunities for that. But in terms of digital entertainment, I really think Portugal has an opportunity, and so we hope that with events like this, we can really make something out of it.
What do you think Portugal is able to contribute that maybe the rest of the world hasn't quite figured out yet?
You know, I tend to be, I always had an international career and I lived in many countries. So this brings some intellectual modesty. And
Sure.
I really don't think that, you know, we are the best in the world, etc. This is something that is not very cosmopolitan. What I think is that we can clearly be an excellent environment to test new technologies, to provide talent to the industry, a good contributor, you know. I think more than big labels or like, I think it's, we can have an important role, but we need to be exposed to all this talent, to all these companies, because our local community is very vibrant, but in terms of the commercialization of technology, in terms of bringing to the market, we have a lot to learn. So this is a really great opportunity to learn also from the best practices all over the world.
So I feel like Portugal has always had like this deep focus on research and kind of scientific push through, and the commercialization of that is a really interesting, it's an obvious next step, but it's an important one. But there seems to be a lot of stuff happening now where everything is happening all at once. So there's THU that's been going on for a few years. In 3 or 4 weeks there's the Web Summit here. There's a whole load of accelerators and startups coming out of Portugal. What suddenly changed? It seems as if Portugal's just suddenly there. It's so exciting.
You know, the roots of there have been there for a long time. I think it's also a matter of opportunity and exposure. So, you know, the talent was there, the ingredients were there, but they were very much sort of sleeping. So at the end of the day, with these opportunities, I think we grabbed them really strongly
and shake them away.
Yeah, shake them away. There's still a lot to do, but it's really a cool place to be and to locate activity. And I think also lots of our, you know, like sort of foreign investors and also all sorts of foreign talent understood that. So, you know, we think hopefully, you know, this is for a good reason, and it's also a good opportunity for us to learn from others and all together to work into a much better context for things to happen. So there's still a long way to go, although all this dynamism is really incredible, but I think there's more to come.
Yeah, for sure. So there's been as I mentioned, there's been a lot of changes and stuff. What do you feel the role of government is to try and catalyze and make that happen?
Yes. It's a lot of things happen in the last 1 year and a half. It's not much. So basically the policies pursued by the government that I represent have been, I think, very important to stimulate this, because these are public policies from a positive side, you know, trying to stimulate things to happen, you know, and trying to really facilitate all this. So at the end of the day, I think government policies had an important role, for example, with our national policy that we call Startup Portugal, but these were things that were coming for a long, long time, you know,
right.
with all the
and
work
they're finally
done
coming
by
to
the
fruition
universities,
after
the incubators, by the companies, etc. So now the role of government has been quite catalytic, you know, quite, you know, sort of like motivation for things to come up together and to be stronger and create synergies among actors, etc. So a lot has been implemented by the current government. So, you know, this shows like in a short time with the right focus and the right drive, you can, but it's, the role of the government is not to replace the private initiative, no, it's to really encourage and motivate and stimulate it. So we are in all of this together.
Yeah. Well, I feel like often what I've seen in the UK in particular a lot is that the government doesn't have to do that much, but they're giving like a space to have these conversations and saying, look, we really believe that this is a good way of stimulating the economy, helping unemployment and all these kind of things, and to kind of pour some fuel on that fire, if that makes sense.
Yes, it's true. You know, first of all, we need to have a public discourse that is conducive to all this happening, and then create also some public policy measures that will stimulate this in terms of funding, in terms of stimulating networking. We work on several strands, and all this together makes a lot of sense, we feel, and it's been providing specific results that I think we can be proud of, but there's a lot more to do, and we'll continue doing it, certainly.
Is there anything in particular you're excited about doing next, or anything, I mean, anything we can help with to make it happen, to make
Well, I think it would be very good if we locate here more companies and creative people, talented people in Portugal that would stimulate the increase of the importance of this industry in our country. From our point of view, this would be very good. Also interacting, of course, with talent from all over the world in a cosmopolitan perspective. Then, we really think that there's an opportunity, not only in Portugal, but we would like to be a good test bed of it, to link the more traditional type of industries with this kind of industries, more emerging, creative, etc. Because we think these are two worlds that can be much more interconnected. And I think this would be the challenge, because if you see now, like in the fashion industry, even furniture, etc., this can be so creative and so high-tech now, technical textiles, even footwear, the technologies used, and then you can use the digital aspects, digital technologies to really innovate in these so-called more traditional industries.
That makes perfect sense. And so I think what always struck me about Portugal is that there's a couple of places where Portugal seems way ahead of the rest of Europe. In particular, banking seems to be well, certainly better than the UK, but it seems to be like maybe Portugal got a slightly later start, but then they actually made a lot correct decisions, right? Where it becomes much easier to pull all of those strands together to make a good place for growth for technology and stuff.
Yes, because for a long time we were perceived in a kind of patronizing way by more developed countries as low-tech, laggards, backwards, and it was true to a certain extent. We had a dictatorship until 40 years ago. So at the end of the day, there was some truth in that, and also we have a low performance in some innovation-related indicators. But right now, contemporary Portugal is very different. It took quite a while for people from abroad to understand it, but I think now the time is ripe. And the people are understanding now this more contemporary view of Portugal. So we've been ahead in several technologies. For example, one of the other areas that I see a big opportunity is life sciences. We have some niches in life sciences.
So biotech and pharma. And
yes, but some specific niches that we are really top players, but the world doesn't know about it.
Which ones? Where do I invest?
Like for example, cancer related, pancreatic cancer and stomach cancer. We have the most influential pathologist in the world in that area. But these sectors still need to be more entrepreneurial, so to speak. So these are typical cases where they are excellent in research, but there's a lot of opportunity to monetize and make these activities more entrepreneurial oriented.
Well, and for government, this is a really interesting place for you guys to be, because a big challenge around these kind of sciences is that it's very hard, because the cycle to actually get something approved is a very long time. I'm not saying necessarily shortening that is a good idea, but being more entrepreneurially friendly and being more startup friendly is something that not a lot of other countries are doing, and there's a great opportunity there.
Yes, indeed. It's really a fascinating time to be in government, and it's something really stimulating. But I think we have a lot of instruments in place that relate also to more developed stages. We have also a big program in terms of the so-called Industry 4.0 on the digitalization of industry, horizontal policy that deals with all types of industries. We have also lots of funding opportunities that can support the growth of startups and scale-ups, etc. So we have together a vast array of instruments, policy related in different areas that are complementary to each other and that can work in different ways. And it's no wonder that the country is growing again significantly.
For sure. What do you want somebody who comes here for the first time to learn about Portugal by coming here?
I think first of all I want the newcomers to come here to have a great time and to be happy.
Check.
And check. So I think with this amazing location and with this great conference that you have, great event that is much more than a conference actually, I think people will be happy, and that's a great thing, because when people feel that they are at home, that they are at ease, that it's a cool place, they can be creative, they can think in a more ambitious way. And we have a lot of people that visited Portugal and wanted to stay. And we like that.
Yeah, no,
we
absolutely.
like that. And also if they can see some opportunities to carry out some work, to do something apart from holiday making, etc., we will be very happy, and we are here to help.
Well, I'm
you
back here in 3 weeks for
settling
Wind
in.
Summit for sure, because that sounds super
Please
exciting.
let us know.
Hey, Anna, thank you so much for coming. I think we're out of time.
Yes,
Thanks for
wonderful.
coming to THU. Talk to everybody. Everybody's amazing. Tune back in tomorrow to THU TV, where we're back at, I think, 9:30 Portuguese time to figure out what's happening around the conference. Thank you again, and see you guys soon.
Thank you.